Will Smith once said the rainstorms in Miami aren't anything to mess with, and I know for a fact that may or may not be true. Today I'm going to Miami, the real-life city inspired by GTA's Vice City. I'm trying to answer the question of whether or not it makes sense to go to video game stores in Miami. So let's get ready to flip and dip.
Don't mess with rainstorms, they're not very good. It rains a lot in Miami, and that's not very good. Unless you're a plant.
Then it's good, because you need water to survive.
There's a lot of rain all around, and if you're wearing velvet, you should not do that. Don't wear velvet shoes, don't wear velvet pants, don't wear velvet shirts, they don't stand a chance.
The most dangerous thing in Miami?
Rain.
I'm not lying, that stuff's
Insane.
One drop hits, I'm gone real quick. Flip and dip, that's my trick. Flip and dip when the skies turn gray. Flip and dip, get out of my way. Flip and dip in my velvet fit. One splash, and I'm throwing a quit. Now, the first place we're going to is a place called Multivest Games. To be completely honest, I just googled retro games and this was one of the first things that came up. This store had an eclectic mix of real stuff, ROM hacks, and repros. And from looking at the price of a lot of this stuff, I can surmise that maybe the rent is pretty high in Miami. This is really interesting. I've seen the statue a ton of times, but never with that texture. I think this is a repro. There were a couple games in here that I've been looking for in my N64 collection. Unfortunately, I just couldn't get to a place where I felt comfortable spending the amount they wanted for those games. But if you really like looking at rare games, you can look at all the rare games you want here. And hey, check it out, they've got a copy of Star Control 2, a really interesting space shooter. My general theory on pricing here is probably that the Port of Miami is home to a lot of cruise ships and a lot of people just coming to the US at this port. The pricing here is equivalent to what I've seen at a lot of video game stores in Times Square, New York. If you're looking for a one-stop shop and you're willing to pay the premium, this might be the shop for you. Otherwise, maybe not so much. I had to pick up a few groceries while I was here, but let's talk about price in general. The whole point of me going to 100 video game stores was really to showcase and prop up small businesses. But at the exact same time, I'm doing reviews of these stores. So you as a consumer of my content probably have the question, hey, is it worth me going there? If I were to omit that certain stores have prices 200 to 300% higher than price charting, I'd be wasting not just your time, but the time of hundreds of people that watch my content. By the way, this is the hotel I stayed in, and they were having an EDM festival while I was there. Store owners choose the prices that they put things out on their shelves. And if that business model is working for them, by all means, I'm super happy for them. I by no means want to talk about store owners as villains, but I just got to talk about my experience so that you can inform yours. Speaking of Grand Theft Auto 6, it's not lost on me that the new game is going to be taking place in Miami. The wife and I decided to take our kid over to the Florida Everglades. This particular place offers boat tours. To be frank, the more places I went in Miami, the more excited I got for Grand Theft Auto 6. This place is just filled with very interesting locations and environments that would make an amazing place for a video game. By the way, I know this isn't like my normal content, but I'm a huge fan of the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, and this is my best impression of your boy Luke.
Well, hey there. I'm out here with the Indoor Boys YouTube channel, about to go on some boats, do some boat things, look at alligators and stuff, because I'm out here in Florida. We're about an hour away from Miami Beach, and we decided to do this. So we'll see what's out here. No clue, but hopefully we have some fun and see some nature.
I hope you enjoyed seeing my gum as much as I enjoyed chewing it. Well, anyways, check out this dragonfly. Isn't that cool? And hey, look, there's little fishes in the water that you can kind of see. Yeah, neat. I mean, that fish right there isn't even little. That's just a big fish. This is the perfect level of Everglading that I was willing to do. It kind of felt like a ride at Universal Studios, but it was real. I mean, look at that bird. Clearly not a robot. Or is it? Who knows? It's pretty simple. You just get a ticket, then you get in this fan boat, then you just go around looking at the Florida Everglades. It's enough Florida Everglades so you feel like you clearly saw real nature, but not so much where you're hey, I'm going to do this for, a full day. We saw an alligator, which was pretty cool, but it might have been a crocodile. Not sure. But anyways, if you're in Florida and you want to see some beautiful nature, but you want to see some beautiful nature for a half an hour to an hour, this is a great place to go. Now, this next place I just straight up would recommend you don't go here, and I'll tell you why. This is a video game repair shop. If you need to get your video games repaired, then I would recommend you go, but if you're shopping for video games, you can't buy them here. Everything in the shop is actually a part of this guy's collection. It's beautiful, well curated, neat to look at. However, if you want to buy it, you really can't do that. Maybe you could if you haggle with him, but not really.
The more time I spent in Miami looking for video games, the more I realized, hey, maybe Miami's not the best place in the world to get video games. I mean, that's totally okay. There's about a million other things to do in Miami that have nothing to do with video games, and that's probably the better way to spend your time. Speaking of learning a life lesson about not just shopping for video games, let's go to another video game store. Now, right off the bat, Golden Games is not really a video game store. It's a card and board game shop that just happens to have a small section of video games. And that game, I'm almost certain, came from Video Games New York. That is their branding. The things I liked about this shop is most of their games were just out on the floor, so if you wanted to look through the games, you had no problem doing that. It's cool that they got their loose handheld games in these small little card boxes, and they had a decent collection of handhelds, which is always nice to see. The coolest thing I found here were these Shonen Jumps. When I was a kid, I subscribed to this magazine, and it brings back a lot of memories. I also thought this mini Dance Dance Revolution was really neat. If you're into cards and you're looking for a card shop in Miami, this might be your place to go, especially if you're looking for video games too. But who knows? We're in Miami, baby. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was dragging my kid along to most of these places, and they weren't video game stores that were very kid-friendly, so I decided, hey, let's stop by and get a treat. While traveling down another road in Florida, we ended up at Jackson's Restaurant. I guess the best way to describe this place would be an excessive ice creamery. Now, I drink a lot of soda, and I drink a lot of big sodas, but this cup was huge. They had free popcorn, and my kid loves popcorn, so he was thrilled about that. And to be completely fair, I did not know what I was getting into when I ordered a turtled sundae. This is the type of dessert that I feel that every other country thinks Americans eat every single day. It's America, baby. This place was a bit excessive, but a ton of fun. It screamed Americana. Felt like I was inside of a Cracker Jack box, and I mean that metaphorically. You should stop by here if you're looking for a treat. Sometimes I save the best for last, and I can easily say Retroitis was the best video game store near Miami. I'm out here in Miami, going to a store named Retroitis. Never been there, but let's see what they got. And I'll say right off the bat, their selection was eclectic and fairly decent. And I'll also say that this is the only video game store I went to in Miami where the prices weren't just bonkers. Those are actually great prices for sealed Jaguar. And I didn't get Runabout Climax, but I actually looked at it later. Looked like a pretty good game. And hey, check it out. They've got a copy of Shadow the Hedgehog. It's $100, but that's about the going rate nowadays. Now, I didn't mention this before, but this is more of a nostalgia store. I mean, look at Spuds McKenzie, the original party dog. This angle makes it look teeny tiny, but I'm picking this up. This is awesome. Now, I don't collect Pokemon, but cards that were originally in the base set just do it for me. They had a great mix of VHS as well. It's always neat to see a movie that just doesn't really exist on streaming. I've never played Silent Hill. I'm just too scared to play scary games. I'm not gonna lie, I do love seeing video game swag though. That's a lot of fun. It's neat to see a Christmas Nights into Dreams. I'm not sure what it's going for right now, but it's just a neat little sampler disc that has a lot of fun theming. It's like standalone DLC. Funny enough, I ended up buying this, but it's supposed to be a joke gift for somebody, but I need to find it. Barkley Shut Up and Jam is the funniest name for a game. It implies you're telling Barkley to shut up and jam. This was easily my favorite store to go to in Miami. It was a lot of fun, the people were really nice, and there was so many things to look at. Now, I know I make all of my content about going to video game stores, and this might be the first time I'm saying this. Miami is an amazing place, a great city, and there's a lot of things to do. Don't spend your time looking for video games. We've only got 2 more video game stores until we hit 100. And let me tell you this, I've got some big plans for both of the next stores.